Chapter 2. Why Atheism Matters. A necessary break from inherited faith. The greatest enemy of faith may not be doubt, but certainty. 1. The golden calf of certainty. Belief is a double-edged sword. It can inspire hope, resilience, and moral vision, but it can also calcify into something dangerous: dogma. Belief, when worshipped for its own sake, becomes idolatry. And no idol is more seductive than the one we name God. From ancient prophets to modern preachers, the human tendency has always been to shape the infinite into something graspable, to make God into an object, a statue, a system, a slogan. We forget that these are merely pointers, shadows on the wall. Instead, we begin to serve them, obey them, kill for them. This is the temptation of belief, to trade the mystery of the divine for the certainty of the familiar. And yet, true transcendence cannot be possessed. The sacred cannot be domesticated. As soon as you think you have captured God in a creed or a ritual or a name, what you hold is no longer God. It is a graven image. 2. Žižek and the atheism of belief. Slavoj Žižek, the Slovenian philosopher, makes a provocative observation. Sometimes, the most truly atheistic position is found inside religion itself. He points to believers who follow rituals and doctrines outwardly, even as they acknowledge, consciously or unconsciously, that they do not believe. Their faith becomes a performance, their God, a social construction. In Žižek's terms, this is belief in belief, a structure where the content of the belief doesn't matter as long as the act of believing is preserved. In such systems, the image of God becomes more important than God itself. This is how religion becomes hollowed out. God becomes less a living presence and more a moral mascot, a political symbol, or a divine vending machine. It's not just that we have stopped believing in God, it's that we've forgotten how to even desire God in any meaningful sense. 3. Simone Weil and the beauty of absence. In contrast to dogmatic belief, French mystic Simone Weil suggests that absence is the beginning of true longing. God can only be present in creation under the form of absence, she writes. To Weil, God is not someone we grasp with doctrines or possess through correct theology. God is the unspoken ache at the core of our being. The sacred is not loud and obvious. It is subtle, often invisible, often withheld. And so, to feel God's absence, to confront the silence at the center of the soul, is not proof of divine abandonment. It is an invitation. It is the space in which real longing can grow. 4. Buddhism and the death of concepts. Eastern traditions like Buddhism offer further wisdom here. In Mahayana philosophy, the concept of shunyata, or emptiness, is a radical declaration that no concept or form can truly capture reality. All things are empty of inherent self, including our thoughts about God. Buddhism dismantles not only the belief in a personal deity, but the belief in belief itself. It offers a kind of spiritual atheism, not as denial, but as liberation from illusions. This emptiness is not despair. It is a space of openness, of direct encounter with reality as it is, free of projection. To let go of belief is to create room for something deeper: awareness, compassion, presence, not knowing God, but being with what is. 5. Letting the house burn. We are taught to cling to belief as though it were a life raft, but maybe the house of belief must burn down before we can see the stars. This is not cynicism. It is reverence, stripped of illusion. To dismantle belief is not to become faithless. It is to strip away the false so that the real might be known. So, we turn inward, not toward belief, but toward the longing beneath belief. We sit with silence. We release our idols. We allow absence to speak. And in that space, Sudden, raw, unpromised, we may feel something stir. Not the God of certainty, but the God of mystery. Not the God of answers, but the God of presence. Not the God we were taught to believe in, but the God we are learning to recognize by letting go.